Hello, good evening. I'm Luciano Ruas of the Brazilian Accent in Improvisation, and today I'm gonna talk about one of the fundamental one of the pillars of Brazilian music that's called choro. Choro, translating for English, it's like crying. And why choro is so important to Brazilian music? Choro was the first urban style in Brazilian music, and it didn't started as a style. Choro started like a new way that Brazilian people were interpreting European music. They were interpreting waltz, polkas, and Scottish in a different way with a different accent, and this started to sound in a Brazilian way. This name choro is not, we are not certain about its meaning. Choro would come from the African term that is cholo, that was a kind of group of people playing music, or could mean like crying because of the emotional aspects in some songs of choro. But if we look to choro in a distant way, we are going to see that it is a very happy and very rhythmic music. It's a very virtuous also music, and rich with melodies, rich melodies. Okay, I would like to present you some of the mainly composers of the principal composers of choro that are, for example, Ernesto Nazaré, that composed this song called Odeon. This Odeon from Ernesto Nazaré. I'm gonna tell one of the first pianists in choro was Chiquinha Gonzaga at the beginning of the choro. And one of the most important composers in choro and most recognized by choro players was Pixinguinha. He composed one of the most famous in Brazil compositions of choro that's called Carinhoso. And so it goes. Okay, this is Carinhoso from Pixinguinha. We also have Jacó do Bandolim, a mandolinist. Jacó's mandolinist. Okay. Okay, this is Noites Cariocas from Jacó do Bandolim. And we have also one of the most famous choro in the world. I had a funny situation before because I had some friend that asked me if it was a Mexican music, but no, it's a Brazilian music and one of the most world famous Brazilian music. It's called Tico Tico no Fubá. Thanks, Rodrigo, for coming. Nice to see you. We have in our audience a very nice Brazilian musician watching for us here. It's Rodrigo Nascimento, very nice saxophonist and flute player, master of Brazilian music. Okay, another important composer was Valdir Azevedo. He composed Brasileirinho, a famous composition in choro also. This was Valdir Azevedo with Brasileirinho. One important thing to say about choro, it has a lot of genders. It has different styles. Choro we today consider a gender with a lot of styles. We can say machixe. It's a primary way of playing choro, and tango brasileiro. They are so similar. I've heard that some people says that machixe is the same thing of tango brasileiro, but other people says that they have subtle difference between them. We have also waltz. It's a style of choro. We have shot, and it's a way Brazilian people said Scottish. Okay, like I could say a wrong pronounce of this word. And we have choro sambado. It's like choro with samba influence. Choro sambado has different division of rhythms, more syncopated also. And we have chorinho. That it's a kind of fast choro composition. Inho in Portuguese, it's like a way of diminished pronounced like little choro, chorinho, okay? It's the way we say one thing to be with more careful, okay? Let me talk a little about the instrumentation of choro. The instrumentation of choro is made by a group called regional. Regional it's formed by one pandeiro. Pandeiro, I have heard that people out of Brazil called Brazilian tambourine. This would be pandeiro. And pandeiro do all the 16 notes, okay? Tak, 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 tak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, tak, 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 tak. It makes the division and allows another musicians to play precisely, okay? Second instrument is called is the 7-string guitar. 7-string guitar, it's a acoustic guitar with one more string, the B string, and this string with this one more string, it's the bass of choro. It's a different way of bass we know today because the 7th-string guitar was a improviser. It doesn't improvise solos, but improvised compings, and these compings were made by the melodical creating melodical ways from one chord for the other chord, okay? Another instrument is the guitar, okay, or the acoustic guitar that made the divisions like this, syncopated divisions. And guitar often plays the syncopated divisions, or sometimes do melodical passages making thirds or tenths with the 7th-string guitar, okay? And besides the guitar, we have cavaquinho. Cavaquinho, it's a little acoustic guitar with higher notes, and it sounds so bright and a little percussive also, and it has a louder sound than the guitar. Then it's a harmonical and percussive instrument. We here in Brazil we say that the cavaquinho is used in the center of the sound. We can hear it in the center during the harmony, okay, the medium octave. All right. One more important thing about choro that it's interesting to you to know that are learning the Brazilian accent is that it has a form based in 3 parts. The form is based on one European dance that's called rondó or rondo. I don't know how you pronounce out of Brazil, but we can say that the rondó form, it's a way to always turn to the first part of the songs. Then we have A part. It's common to play a choro with the A part again, B part again, return to the A part, go to the C part, repeat the C part, and go to A. Always going to the A part. Always, for example, in Tico Tico no Fubá, this would be the A part. Okay, we repeat 2 times this part and go to the B section that it's. We repeat 2 times this B section and return to A section. After that we go to the C section. Okay, this C section 2 times and we return again to the first part. Besides this kind of this form, that's the macro scene of Choro, we can see its structure. We in each part it's common to have 16 measures for part, okay, and there are a lot of interesting Choro stories about composers that did different choros with just 2 parts, and traditional composers didn't like them, didn't say, you are getting influenced by another cultures, sometimes for the culture from the United States, but what you are doing, it's not Choro, because they didn't compose with this three section structure. I can give an example to you that's called the Choro made by Pixinguinha, called Lamentos. It has just 2 parts, but it's just this Choro. This is the first part, and the second part would be. I recommend you to hear these Lamentos. It's a very interesting Choro, very swinged melody. And interesting music to hear, okay? And why Choro is a important thing, an important style or important genre in Brazilian music? Choro it's very important to when you want to learn Brazilian music, because Choro is a way of giving this Afro taste for melodies that before were the known melodies in Europe. It got some swing, it got some rhythm, interesting. Then I would say that a lot of composers, important Brazilian composers of various styles, also composed Choro, because this melody can be very, very detailed, ornamented, and virtuose. It's also an interesting style to develop your technique in playing, okay, and it's important also because it's one of the first Brazilian styles that start improvising, but they didn't improvise in the way we know in jazz. In jazz, for example, we have the exposition of a theme, and after that, musicians are free to improvise. And in the choro environments that we call roda de choro, roda de choro, it's like a circle of musicians that knows a lot of repertoire in choro, and they join to play. They don't improvise. They don't make solos. Sometimes they do one solo in each 5 or 10 songs, but not in all music like jazz. Their improvise is in the melody. They they uh, they play the original melody with some variations, and these variations can be improvised. I have a nice example of this. I told you about Jacob du Bandolin, that it's a very important reference in choro compositions and playing. When he record his discs with another musicians, he played his part separately, just for the another musicians to hear along, besides they weren't playing. Take this recording, go home and study and research it for variations, for interesting interactions with the comping. Okay, but it's important to reinforce that they were just variations, not free improvise. They played the melody, go a little out of the melody with new ideas, but returned. It's important for choro people to make always the melody present in its compositions. You can show your personality, but you are going sometimes returning home to give the other musicians the reference of the melody. Today in modern choro, we have this improvised like jazz, but it's a new thing about this repertoire. But another thing to say, that it's one of the pillars of Brazilian music, that's the divisions of the melody are so peculiar, and sounds with a Brazilian taste. Then when you learn Brazilian choro and its melodies, you will be capable to understand more of another kinds of melody, because it has a lot of the essence of the styles that form Brazilian music. So I invite you to search for choro at the internet. I told you about the old composers, but we can hear choro in Hermeto Pascoal, Hamilton de Holanda, or even one of the most important Brazilian composers, that is Tom Jobim, or Antonio Carlos Jobim, the main composer of bossa nova. He composed some choros also, and I recommend you to research and try to recognize the sound of choro. If you have any doubts, and you want, if you try to recognize some compositions and don't discover what is, you can send me in the comments, and I'm gonna teach you and say more about each style of choro. Okay, I'm Luciano Ruas from the Brazilian Accent Improvisation. Thanks for watching me. I hope you like this subject. I think it's so important for all of you that want to learn about Brazilian music. Thanks for watching and bye bye.